Welcome to this day for this Monday, January 9th. I'm Paul Ortiz. I'm filling in for a vacationing Lisa Hart. She'll be back tomorrow. Today in our program, we'll be speaking to the president of the Golden Rain Foundation, that's Bunny Carpenter. And today we're going to be talking about the mission of the Golden Rain Foundation. They do meet on the first Tuesday of each month at 9:30 in the boardroom, and we also televise those meetings live right here on Village Television. If we have a little bit of time in our program, we'll be bringing you Dr. Hamad. He's with Harvard Eye Associates, and Lisa had a chance to sit down and talk with him a couple of weeks ago, and he's a cataract specialist over there at Harvard Eye Associates. Well, we'll only have one meeting today. That's going to be at 1:30 this afternoon if you're watching our morning or our lunchtime program. That's the third maintenance and construction, and they're going to be meeting in the boardroom right here in your community center. That's at 1:30 this afternoon. Also, we're also going to tell you a little bit about, some of the weather that we've had in the last couple of days. It looks like it's pretty drizzly today. It was beautiful yesterday if you had a chance to get down to the coastal areas. It was just a beautiful, crisp day yesterday. A lot of people out and about, especially in the Dana Point, Capistrano Beach area. Showers today, temperatures at 64 degrees, 52 overnight, a little chilly. Tomorrow even cooler at 59 degrees, a little bit of rain throughout Tuesday, and it looks like it's going to clear up a little bit on Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday probably be overcast for most of the weekend, but really cool temperatures. Today you do expect some rain and showers throughout the day. And then our sunrise and sunset, our sunrise this morning was at 6:56 this morning, and our sunset this evening is going to be at 5 o'clock. And that is Capistrano Beach, if you're familiar with that area right there in San Clemente, Capistrano Beach area on PCH. Beautiful day yesterday. That was about 4:30, 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon as the sun was starting to set. So beautiful days out there. Looking forward to seeing them once again once all these showers kind of dissipate. But it looks like we'll have some cooler temperatures the first couple of days and then kind of warm up just a little bit for the rest of the week. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back with Bunny Carpenter. She's going to be telling us about the mission statement of the Golden Rain Foundation.
At Healing Hearts Emergency Animal Hospital, we are dedicated to emergency veterinary care through high-quality veterinary services and compassion. We offer state-of-the-art diagnostics at competitive pricing. Our doctors will see and care for dogs, cats, and most exotics. In case of emergency, rest assured Healing Hearts Emergency is here for you when your primary veterinarian is closed. Open nights, weekends, and all major holidays.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
Did you hear the big news? The FDA announced the over-the-counter hearing aid program. It's been 6 years in the making. And what does that mean to you if you wear hearing aids or if you're thinking about wearing hearing aids for the first time? Most people are asking themselves, what is an over-the-counter hearing aid? Would it work for me? Where do I get them to try? How much do they cost? For over 40 years, Advanced Ear Care has been helping answer questions just like this. Call us today and find out more. And remember, tell them Stuart sent you.
Joining us on the program is Bunny Carpenter. She's the GRF president, the Golden Rain Foundation president, and this is what, I think you've been 2-3 years now? Something like that, right?
This is the fourth time I've been president.
Wow, good for you.
Thank you.
It's a busy job.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And it is a job. It's employment. Everybody asks me, where are you working? How many
Yeah,
are
yeah,
you working
yeah.
today?
Yeah,
So-
people don't realize how many hours all our directors really put into, whether you're on the Golden Rain Foundation or any of the mutual boards. It's
Right.
very time consuming. We have quite a few committee meetings, and of course the Golden Rain Foundation has a very large responsibility in running all the amenities. And today you wanted to talk in particular about really what is the mission statement for the Golden Rain Foundation?
Right, because I don't think a lot of people understand just exactly what GRF does and what that responsibility is. And as you know, the trust was formed in 1964. And this authorizes Golden Rain Foundation, the GRF, as trustee to operate and manage the trust properties. So basically, we have to understand, what does that mean? So our GRF mission as a trustee is to hold the community properties, the mutual properties, into the trust for the mutual and to provide services to all the residents. So the board oversees some very important services, and that is that the residents count on. And that is, what do you count on? You count on the bus system, you count on the security, you count on the gates, the cable system, roads, parking, clubhouses, tennis courts, entertainment. It just goes on and on. And I have to tell you that it's a very exciting job to participate and to be able to provide that this community can provide so much enjoyment for our residents. But as we wanted to talk about the mission of GRF, we also wanted to talk about the commitment, and I think the commitment, yes, there we go. So the commitments to its members, I don't know if anyone ever really thought about this, but we have accountability, we have the decision-making, efficiency, inclusivity, participatory responsiveness, and transparency. So how does GRF undertake that commitment?
Right.
Okay. So the GRF has a structure. And this structure is very different than the mutual structure. So we have the committee structure is actually made up of members, directors from the other mutuals. And that is so that we have, so that all the boards are working together in order to accomplish, what the residents can enjoy. And so what happens is that they all together in these committees, they provide the oversight for a specific asset, okay? So the committees assist the board directors by addressing specific community issues and tasks and serving in an advisory capacity for the benefit of the community. So that's how we get here. We go through the committee before it even comes to the board. So they gather information, assess problems, and they also recommend solutions to the board. And I do have to say the committee does a lot of work, and one of the reasons why I want to talk about this today is because I wanted to encourage residents that if they are interested in a specific area and that they, come to these committee meetings, they're open. And you can really find out what goes on and how the decision-making process is and the research that actually goes on before that committee makes a recommendation to the board.
Right. And that's what we've found for years now, right? Usually people will show up at the GRF board meeting and then they're all of a sudden astonished by whatever recommendation or discussion is happening when that committee possibly were discussing that for 6 months to even years. So it's so important that the residents actually participate first in that committee process depending if you're into tennis or golf or any of the amenities that the Golden Rain Foundation oversees, before it gets to a recommendation to the Golden Rain Foundation Board, because really the board at that point, you would hope, has given the committee their time and done their due diligence to figure out what other, whether it's approved or not approved or what direction that particular topic might be. So, it's a little late in the game sometimes for that kind of discussion. So we want them to get into that as early as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
And so how are we going to help the residents to know when those meetings are?
Yeah.
So GRF is working on a communication plan for this year, how to be more transparent. And even though we thought we were being very transparent, apparently people are out there, residents are out there saying, well, we don't know when you're going to be talking about these items in the committee. So we now have a correspondent. And so this year, GRF is going to be putting out a newsletter. And we are going to be working with Eileen in regards to our communication plan, so that everybody knows what the goals of GRF are for this year, and also that residents will be notified as to when these hot topics are and when the committee meets. So how exactly we're going to do that hasn't been decided yet.
Right.
But in this month, we're going to start working on that plan.
Right. And we do encourage the residents to watch Village Television. They get to watch your meetings live each first Tuesday of each month. We also have the message board that Village Television operates, and be sure and check those committee meetings. We'll post those as well.
Right.
And then, of course, the internet. What are some of the hot projects that you believe the GRF will be facing this year?
We've got some big hot topics. Okay, I think one of the biggest ones, everybody is asking, what are we going to do, with streaming, and I just have to tell everyone that that's going to be a long process. Will take us years, but we have to grow with it and adjust as we go along. And so the first steps to help with the streaming is changing our internet speeds, and if recently GRF passed new rates, and if residents will look, they will see there were new speeds also that will help, with the streaming. So that's the first step. But I don't expect any more changes for this year. But believe me, we're working on it, and Paul is a big part of that.
Yeah, there's a lot to do.
There's a lot to do. So the next thing that I think is very exciting is the Clubhouse One. They're working on interior design. What we used to do before was GRF had a clubhouse, in reserve like every 10, 20 years. Nothing would get done to these clubhouses until that time came up. So I'm trying to change that business model so that we are working on the clubhouses all the time. Now, mind you, yes, they are doing some maintenance and that sort of thing, but they're not being painted. The floors are not being updated. So this plan is to have a design firm work with us so that we can set standards, and that we will develop a plan so that the clubhouses will be maintained on a more frequent basis.
Right.
And of course, in landscaping, you really don't hear about it much, but it's a really important. We're on the 4th phase of the irrigation system, and that system will really save water for the community, and that's what we really need at this point in time. And I don't think people have heard enough about the ERP system, okay, and the value that is going to be to the employees and to the residents. And right now, it's projected that we'll go through the first phase install the first phase around August and September timeframe.
Briefly, what is the ERP system for a lot of our residents that aren't aware of that?
It's an operating system.
Okay.
A technology, as far as the operating system, that Chuck Holland is doing a great job, working with us. We just basically, the GRF works with him, but I have to tell you that he's doing a bang-up job.
Good.
So,
Yeah.
So what it's going to do is a lot of the jobs and functions that the employees are doing manually, it will become automatic, and so it will provide more efficiency and save a lot of time. Not only that, it will protect our systems, because if you remember,
Right.
not too long ago we had a malware, and we don't expect that to ever happen again in this community. But it is our job and GRF's job to make sure that these systems are all kept up so that it doesn't happen.
And the system they're using today has actually been around for decades. I believe even a couple of employees actually wrote the code for a lot of the systems that we're using to generate work orders and track all of the many items and work services that we provide here in the community. So this is something it's a big job, and obviously, like you said, it's going to save the community money and time, especially to get these things done in an automated way. So that's nice that they're working on that, and that'll be a big project this year.
Yes, it's ongoing. I mean, because when you figure the first phase is financial, and that's this year. But next year, we have to hit all areas like resident service. And the sad thing is, because it does take so long, so it's going to be about 3 years before we actually are able to install something that will work for resident services.
Yeah, I imagine there's a huge transition process, because there's so many phone calls and tickets and work orders that come through resident services, especially on a Monday like today.
Right.
So those things need to just kind of, catch up, and then that way the employees can get those work orders out to all our field representatives.
And being able to talk to each other, when you do a project, I can, as a director, go in and see where the project is going. The employees can go and check status, and with an ERP system, it makes it, all those decision makers, it's more accessible to them, rather than doing all the paperwork and writing reports and having to go to the department manager to find out what's going on.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's great.
Good.
I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah.
Now, there was a lot of discussion about Building E just a few months ago. That's also kind of on the table.
Yes, and we're looking at a lot of options at this point in time. The end of this month, we expect to have a response to the RFP, and the RFP is for space planning. And when we get the results of space planning, then we can go forward and see what is going to be necessary. But as far as providing space for these employees. In the meantime, we're looking at lease options, okay? We can't leave those employees in there. I mean, it's a toxic environment, that's all I can say, And so we'll be having a meeting pretty soon with staff in regards to what they found out in regards to leasing temporarily until we can figure out what we need to do.
Okay. And that building is over there across the street in that maintenance yard, correct?
Yes, and I don't think that everybody realizes what happens in that maintenance yard. They need to go over there and look. I mean, it is huge. It's not just Building E. It's the
Right.
warehouse, it's transportation. We have 400, vehicles, although they're not all parked over there. It's the storage for our big equipment. It's a whole operation there.
Right. Well, in closing, really, the Golden Rain Foundation is really a city. You know, y'all aren't on, it's City Council, but it's the Golden Rain Foundation. But you run, when you look at all the responsibilities that the GRF has when it comes to streets and paving and vehicles and in landscaping, that is something that usually a city will provide to their members or to
Yes.
their community. And you guys are doing that for the city of Laguna Woods and, of course, for our association. So it's a big job. So you have a lot of things to be responsible for. And of course, a lot of things need to be discussed with the public as well. So it's a big job.
So I think there was a slide in here that showed everybody where they can go.
Yeah. We have
right there.
There you
Yes.
go. We'll show that real
Yeah.
quickly. If you go to the website, that's lagunawoodsvillage.com, all you got to do is click on calendars, and you'd be able to see the many committee meetings and the regular meetings that are associated for that month. And it's a good way to keep track of what's going on in your community. And our staff does a good job of keeping that updated. But be sure and check that on a regular basis and get all that information. So thanks so much for joining us today on our
thank
program.
you.
We'll see you again on the first Tuesday of each month right here on Village Television.
All right, thank you.
That's Bunny Carpenter, and she's the president of the Golden Rain Foundation. And be sure and tune in to Village Television on that first Tuesday of each month at 9:30 to watch all of the programs. And you can also view it right on our Village Television YouTube channel. We'll be back with a short break right after this.
Achieve a level of comfort you've never known before. The Daydreamer will take you through smooth movements and guide you effortlessly into your favorite positions. Adjust the power pillow for ideal support for your head and neck. This and our positioning technology allows for infinite relaxation. Lay back in zero gravity while watching TV and put your body and mind at ease. Lift your spirits and find your favorite daydream. Contact your local Golden retailer today. Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
Parkinson's disease is a neurological movement disorder affecting an estimated 1 million Americans, including many under age 40. The American Parkinson Disease Association is the largest grassroots network in the United States, working to help ease the burden and find the cure for those coping with Parkinson's. Visit apdaoptimism.org today to find out how you can help millions live with dignity and optimism. Your action today will help APDA put an end to Parkinson's disease.
I'm an entrepreneur and have been struggling with staying focused on tasks. I needed something to help me with focus and memory and have found the holy grail of multivitamins. MindSense One has removed my brain fog and now I have better clarity and can focus on tasks and remember names and places much better. MindSense One helps support the 8 indicators of brain health.
Purchase at mindsense.info or available at these fine retailers.
Well, don't forget, we have our movie this afternoon. That's going to be at 2 o'clock, and today's movie is Ticket to Paradise, and this stars Julia Roberts. It is rated PG-13. It runs about 104 minutes long, and that is brought to you by Hogue. And that is going to be at 2 o'clock with subtitles and 6 o'clock without subtitles. And this is a story about a man and his ex-wife. They race to Bali, that's in Bali, Indonesia, to stop their daughter from marrying a seaweed farmer. As they desperately try to sabotage the wedding, the bickering duo soon find themselves rekindling old feelings that once made them happy together. So it sounds like it's a bit of a romance for the daughter who's having her nuptials, and also for the couple that's possibly going to rekindle that romance they had back in the old days. Hey, we want to tell you about one thing that's going to be happening here in the next couple of days, and that's the Cat Club. That's going to be on January 11th. That's on January 11th, at Clubhouse 5. And they're going to have Healing Hearts Emergency Animal Hospital. They are new to our community and also a wonderful client to you here in our community. And they do provide new emergency pet facility in a hospital here in Laguna Hills. And that's going to be Dr. Bob. He's a medical director over there. So don't miss that. That's going to be at Clubhouse 5. It's going to start about 12:30. Members are free. Guests are $3. So come on by there at Clubhouse 5 at 12:30 for friends, fun, food, and they're going to have free stuff, and of course our wonderful felines. So be sure and check them out over there at LagunaWoodsCatClub.com. And be sure and talk to our good friend Pat, who's over there quite often. Hey, let's take a look outside before we let you go. It's going to be another kind of drizzly, cool day. That's what it looks like right now at 9:26 in the morning. We're going to have showers throughout the day. It's about 64 degrees throughout, 52 overnight, and a little bit cooler for the next couple of nights. 59 tomorrow. We're going to have very similar conditions as we have today. And then overnight temperature is going to be in that high 40s, 49, 47. And then as the weekend approaches, we'll see some cloud cover and some sunshine throughout. So it looks like it's going to be a nicer weekend as the days approach. Well, thank you very much for joining us today on our program, and thank you for letting me host your program here for the last 28 minutes or so. Lisa Hart will be back with us tomorrow, so be sure and tune in tomorrow right here on Village Television.
Captain America.
Watch HGTV.
Netflix.